The 78th College World Series Finals underway on Saturday night, and Game 1 was won largely by one in a 1-0 effort by LSU. The Tigers, led by a horse. Kade Anderson's 130-pitch shutout, simply sensational, and the first in the College World Series Finals since 2018. Anderson allowed just 3 hits and struck out 10 to improve to 12-1 on the season. The Tigers can now clinch their 8th championship in program history with a win in Game 2 on Sunday. First pitch slated for 2:30 Eastern. This College World Series recap is presented by AT&T. Connecting changes everything. And with that, we welcome in Baseball America's Jacob Rudner, who joins us from Omaha. Jacob, the LSU Tigers now 1 win away after this 1-0 win. Obvious attention turned to the arm here in Kade Anderson. Complete game, 130 strong, 3 hits scattered, no runs. What did you see in the way that Anderson commanded not just the zone, but the pace of this ball game?
A spectacular performance. And we saw somebody tonight who is, in my opinion, the #1 overall pick in this summer's draft. It just commanded the entire game. Strikes, even when he was having a hard time and allowed some leadoff base runners. I look at like the 4th inning when he allows a leadoff double and then strikes out the side. This is somebody who has major composure. He's able to throw all of his pitches in any count. We saw his curveball look really effective, even past the 120 pitch mark in the 9th inning when he was spinning it with over 3,000 RPMs, which is a big league number right out the box. A spectacular pitcher, spectacular performance, and one that really does set up his team to go on and win the national title for the 2nd time in 3 years.
It is one that Omaha will remember. I want to get to much of what you said there, and we allude to the future for Anderson. Were you surprised at all that he got the green light to go out for the 9th, and then after issuing the walk? I mean, this is a pitch count we don't see often, even at this level.
You know, on a week's rest, I really don't have a problem with it. And I think that for head coach Jay Johnson, this was just a matter of sticking with his horse, as you called him. He is the best pitcher in the country right now, and LSU has oodles of confidence that he can go out there even at a taxing pitch level and be really consistent and good. We didn't see his stuff diminish, which is typically something that we look for when it comes to should a guy be back out there. There weren't a lot of high stress innings towards the end of the game. He actually lowered his pitch count on a per inning basis over the final 3. And so the lack of stress and just how dominant he was, plus the fact that this is going to be his last outing of the year most likely, made it a pretty easy decision to me. I think that LSU couldn't really afford to go to its bullpen right there. You go with the guy who's been damage done, you know, complete dominance over Coastal Carolina. No reason not to stick with him in the 9th inning.
And now a bullpen fully intact with this complete game thing of beauty by a kid who's just going to go on to do great things, and that we hope. It's a good chance, as we've alluded to here, this is the last collegiate action for Anderson. Projected as a top 20 pick thereabout before the CWS here, that profile obviously rising in the eyes of many. Why is this such a sure thing when you say he is the potential 1st overall pick in the upcoming draft? And how does this stuff translate to the professional level in your eyes?
You know, when it comes to evaluating who's going to go 1st overall, especially from a pitcher sense, we're looking at who has the best pitchability across their arsenal, which, as I said a couple minutes ago, Kade Anderson certainly has. He commands his stuff deep into games, even at taxing pitch counts. His fastball quality doesn't diminish. His curveball remains elite deep into the game. Those are the first telltale signs. Then you look at the person, the competitor, and he has that in spades. I mean, we saw a guy go out there and throw 120-plus pitches and compete all the way through the 9th inning. He throws a complete game shutout even after walking 5, so he checks that box. And then you're starting to look at the peripheral things. Is he going to be somebody whose stuff will translate to the professional level? The answer to that question is, again, unequivocally yes. He has a 3,000 RPM curveball, a 3,000 RPM slider, a fastball with over 20 inches of induced vertical break. A great way to compare that would be like throwing a ball in a skee ball machine with the way that it moves up as it crosses the plate. We're talking about an elite pitcher, and when you combine performance with a lot of these peripheral metrics, it's not really a question for me. This is the #1 overall pick in the draft if the Nationals are going to do the right thing.
Fantastic information there. A swing and miss stuff is how we'd sum it up, or that's what we saw here on this night. A team sport. Let's get back to the task at hand. A chance to clinch here for the Tigers on Sunday. First pitch, 2:30 Eastern in Omaha. Jacob, Coastal hasn't dropped back-to-back games since March 23rd, and they've only lost a handful this entire season. Is it a dream season complete for the Tigers on Sunday, or are we back for more on Monday?
You know, I tend to lean towards this series ending tomorrow. I think that Anthony Ianson for LSU is nearly as spectacular and equally likely to go in the first round as his teammate Kade Anderson is. The biggest thing for me, though, is that Coastal Carolina still should have a chance. Jacob Morrison, their ace, is going to go for them tomorrow, and he is the only pitcher in the last 5 years, joining Paul Skeens, to have 10-plus outings of 6 or more innings and 1 or fewer runs allowed. So they have their horse going tomorrow. Again, this is a team that is capable of being pesky at the plate. They don't necessarily need home runs to score a lot. And so I think that they're in it. Do I think that they win it? Probably not tomorrow.
Jacob, we appreciate the insight from Omaha. Looking forward to another exciting one on Sunday. All right, a look here at your recent champions, the past 8. Sense a theme? The SEC reigning supreme, as the LSU Tigers will have a chance on Sunday evening to make it 2 of the last 3.